one guy who's also been working hard, Rafael Devers, this offseason. There has been some chatter, and Craig has slightly touched on it, where a possible position change at some point. He's saying he's open to it if it helps improve the team. But instead of asking necessarily specifically about Rafi maybe moving over to first base, which has been mentioned this offseason, what are your thoughts on guys that have been at a position for a while and making a position change, say from third to first, or short to second, or center to one of the corners in the outfield? What's your philosophy?
Or from right field to first base, one of the best
Right.
players in the
Yeah.
big leagues, right? Bryce Harper,
Yeah.
and he did it in the middle of the season, and
Yeah.
nobody has complained about Bryce playing first base. So, it has happened in the past, right? Guys moving from position to another one. Some of them because of health reasons, others because of addition, others because the organizations feel that player is better in that position. In our case, you know how I feel about Rafi at third base. I think he still can play it. His arm played last year. He had trouble last year, actually. I think he made like 5 errors when we had overshift, quote unquote. We had him short against a left-handed hitter. There were 3 or 4 balls that he missed, but overall, I know the numbers are the numbers, and we're not gonna run away from it. But I don't think the numbers make justice to him. We expect him to make the routine play and then, just go to the plate and perform. So we feel very comfortable with him. One thing for sure, like I said in Dallas, I don't know where the rumor was coming from. Obviously, people have ideas, but if we're gonna make a decision based on that, honestly, the first person that is gonna know is Craig, myself, and then Rafi, right? And we're gonna have those conversations. But as of now, I haven't talked to Rafi about moving out of third base.
Yeah. How's he, because I know he was dealing with some issues in the second half.
He's better.
Injuries.
He's better. He's better. He's better.
Yes.
He actually was in Boston a few weeks ago. He worked out with our strength and conditioning coaches. He saw the trainers. He's doing a good job, staying the course. We expect him to recover 100% and be ready for opening day.
Yeah, for sure. And there are some other guys, and that was one thing last year too. A lot of injuries last year. Story, Yoshida, Grissom, like you mentioned, Garrett Whitlock, Giolito, Hendricks, the list goes on. How are these guys doing when it comes to their progress, with rehab and whatnot? Especially Yoshida, right? I see he's been traveling a little bit. He's always looking for the scenery out there. But how are these guys feeling? Have you talked to any of these guys?
Doing well. Actually, Massa spent most of the offseason in Boston, rehabbing and working out with our coaches, strength coaches. So he's in a good spot. Lucas, I think he was very vocal a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And one of the podcasts that cover the Red Sox.
Yeah.
That
Baseball
he'll
isn't
be ready
boring.
for. Yeah. The brand, Rob Bradford.
Yes.
Yeah. He said that he's going to be okay. Liam is throwing bullpens. Witt is improving. So as far as health, we are actually in a good spot.
Yeah.
While we're talking January 3rd, Trevor is doing everything. So so far so good. Hopefully we can finish the off season the right way and be ready for Myers starting. I think it's February 15th. I don't know.
Yeah, getting there. It's creeping up. But speaking of spring training, there are a few popular names in the farm system as of right now. We got Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, Marcelo Meyer. How are these guys doing this offseason? And do you see maybe, these guys, the 2 names we hear more of has been Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell. Do you see those guys, possibly competing for a spot in spring training, kind of like what we saw with, Jackson Merrill on the Padres this past year? Do you see a scenario like that at all for this spring training?
I mean, we had the same situation last year with Sedon, right? Like he went to spring training to win a job, and he did. So, they're good players. They're actually attacking the offseason the right way. They want to break camp with us. So that's that's huge. Just show up in shape and pushes to make a decision. I'm not saying that they will be competing for a spot or they have a shot to break camp with us. But one thing for sure, they're good players and they have the right mindset. We had a conversation last year. I talked to all of them. I said, at this level, there's no age limit, right? When to make it to the big leagues. You can be 19, you can be 20, you can be 33. It really doesn't matter. As long as you go out there and perform, you're going to have a shot. So, we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, and one thing I talked with Mikey Romero, number 12 prospect in the Red Sox system recently, and the one thing he mentioned that I feel like is not really being mentioned when it comes to these guys is the maturity of them, and that was one
Yeah.
thing he spoke on with Roman Anthony. He talks like he's been there for years, right? Um, you know, are there any other aspects that you see with these guys where they could end up making, even if they, end up maybe going spend some time in the minors. Do you see a possibility where they could contribute to the 2025 Red Sox?
To be honest with you, it's up to them, right? It's
Yeah.
not up to me. I think you got to go out there and perform, attack the things that you have to attack, be better in certain aspects, and continue to be good citizens. That's very
Yeah.
important. And good citizen is being a good teammate, be diligent with your workouts, and perform, on a daily basis and a weekly basis, right? And we've been talking about them for a while. I'm very happy, honestly, that the offseason hasn't been about, the future of the Red Sox. It's more about the present, and it feels like they're part of the present. So that's good.
What are you hoping to see with whatever the team ends up being, whatever shape or form it ends up taking going into the season? What do you want to see as the manager of the Red Sox? What do you want to see more out of this team, both on and off the field?
Um, as an organization, keep growing, right? I think we do an outstanding job off the field. The Red Sox Foundation is one of the best, if not the best, in the world in
Mhm.
sports. So continue to do that, impact the community. The guys get involved, and that's something we have seen the last few years with Justin Turner, with Hendricks. Just keep impacting the community.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing to us, and we should be amazing to everybody else. As far as like what happens on the field, um, as a manager, just be more consistent in the two aspects that we talked early in the interview.
Mhm.
Pitch better, play better defense. That's something that we have to do, and we're gonna keep preaching that. We made some strides early on last year, pitching wise. We struggled halfway through it, then we make adjustments, and we finished strong. Defensively, the outfield became one of the best, if not the best, defensive outfield in the big leagues. Obviously we got to be better in the infield, and we actually challenge these guys, to do that. As far as like the offense, I do believe that the last 3 years we run into uh, a stage in the season that we struggle, and
Mhm.
the struggle is not 1 week or 2 weeks, is a month, and we saw it last year. I think the numbers at the end are the numbers because we put some ungodly numbers for 2 months, and then there's 1 month that we
Yeah.
actually struggle. And yeah, oh, they're the top four offensive club in the big leagues. Yeah, we were for a while, but
Yeah.
not the whole season. So we just got to put a full season together. 162 in every aspect of the game. As far as the expectations, I think 30 teams have one expectation is to win the World Series, right? So
Yeah.
why talk about it? As far as like, yeah, we want to win the World Series, but there has to be, you know, other goals, other stuff that we have to do prior to get there and win the World Series. And I think it's being more consistent. Just keep working the things that you have to work to become an elite baseball team, and
Yeah.
stay humble, keep your head down, and keep going, 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 and see where it takes us.
Yeah, and like you said, this offseason, you think it's going to be a more fun season this coming year. Definitely has been some good strides this offseason. I'm excited for it.